Hey there guys, this is Dull-Keep Tutorials over here and welcome to a brand new fresh Cinema 4D tutorial. Well, I know this is Photoshop, but we'll be using a little bit of Photoshop to our next Cinema 4D tutorial, for this Cinema 4D tutorial. So, as the title said, we're going to be making the Burger King animation. So, this is how it looks like. So, it's pretty simple. So what we want to do is we want to go and create paths in Photoshop, and then we just want to put them in Cinema 4D, and then we want to extrude them, do some texturing, lighting, and get the job done. So I'm going to go and open up my picture which I downloaded from the internet. So this is it. So this is the Burger King logo that we have over here. So what we want to do is we want to go and choose the magic wand tool, and we want to select each part, and we want to go right click, we want to choose make work path, say OK, and then we want to go to file, export, and export paths to Illustrator, and then we want to click OK, and we want to save it up. So I'm just going to go put it on the desktop and just say put this as top. So I'm just going to go and make the create paths and export them all, and I'll be right back. So here I am in Cinema 4D after exporting all the paths, and I'm just going to go to File, Merge, and we have these three. I'm just going to go open them all one by one. So if we zoom out, we can see we have over here. And let me just go File, Merge again. We want to choose the bottom this time, and then we're going to go to File, Merge again. And then we will choose blue. Oops. Come on. Oh my god. Okay. And so we want to go and select all these three. And then we want to go to Mesh, Axis Center, Center Axis 2. So what it does is it centers the axis for each of the splines over here. So I'm going to select all this, and I'm going to go to the coordinates and set that to 0. Oh, oops. Control Z. We want to press Alt G on the keyboard to grab a null, and then we want to 0 that out. Okay. Looks like we moved this one pretty much. Okay. So I'm just going to go my render settings and change that to 1280 by 720. Let's zoom out. Okay. So once this is done, looks like this is for the letter K, but I'm going to be using a different letter, so I'm just going to remove that point. So yeah, it is the blue. I'm going to go to the points tool. I'm going to select this point. I'm going to hit delete, and I'm going to select these 2 points and right click and choose soft interpolation. And then we want to go back to our main view. And there we go, looking better. So now what we want to do is we want to go back to our front view, and we want to go to splines and choose a text spline. So I'm going to type in devil cube. So the first one is going to be devil, and I downloaded this Burger King font. It's called something that starts with letter I. Let me just show you. It's called Insanity Burger with Cheese, whatever that is. And I'm going to set the alignment to middle, and I'm going to increase the size pretty much to say around 275, and give it a bit of horizontal spacing. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to go and we want to choose the shear, and we want to deformer, and we want to put it under the text, and then we want to go and choose fit to parent, and we want to choose unlimited, and we want to increase the strength. Okay, so but we want to reduce down the curvature first to 0, and then we want to increase the strength. So we need to rotate this thing in such a way that it gives us the the direction in which it shears properly. So fit to parent, and let's increase the strength. Nope. Let's probably set it like this, in a trial and error basis and increase the strength. Okay, so we want to set the banking to minus 270. That was a real pain to get it done. Okay, and we want to take the text, we want to position it down, and then we want to go take the shear and we want to move the curvature up. Okay, so it looks something like that, looking good. And we want to go duplicate this text, and I'm going to change this to cube. Okay, and I'm going to take this text and I'm going to move this down. Okay, so down, and we can change this. Oh, not the horizontal spacing, the shear. So we want to go to the shear, and we want to go place it so that it looks perfect. Okay, I think I'm going to go and increase the height of this, probably bring this down, and I'm just going to bring down the horizontal spacing. Okay, so let's just zoom out and see. Yeah, so that's looking pretty cool. So let me go back to my front view, and I'm just going to hide the deformers so we don't see it. Okay, okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to go and take all these out, close this, delete this null, and we want to put each of these in extrude nibs. So I'm going to go to the extrude nibs, and we've been needing 5 extrude nibs, so I'm going to duplicate it 4 times so that we get 5 extrude nibs, and I'm going to start dropping in. Okay, I'm just going to close all this up. I'm going to select all the extrude nibs. Okay, actually all these extrude nibs, and I'm going to set the movement to 50. Go to the caps, choose a fillet cap with a step of 3 and a radius of 3. Okay, so we have some nice beveling that is happening around. And then we want to go create a camera, and we're going to set this to 0, 0. And we will go to the X, that's 0, 0, and we're going to set this to minus 1280. Okay, that's pretty much. So we're going to zoom it up even more further to say something like minus 2000. Set this to 2500 probably. Okay, and it looks like this is not in the center. So I'm just going to take all this plus Alt G, drop them into a null, and we want to just move this up slightly. Okay, so it's in the center as we can see it over here. Okay, then now we want to go and create some textures. So let's create a new material. So the first material, I want to name that blue, and I'm going to set the R to 8, G to 5, and the B to 105. Okay, that gives it a dark blue. So actually set it to 45. Okay, and then we want to go put on reflection, and in the reflection we just want to set that to 20. Okay, then let's duplicate this material, and we want to change the color of this to complete white, and we want to duplicate that again. We're going to set this to 210, 125, and 75. 175 actually, not 125. So now we want to start applying these materials. So let's take this blue and drop it on this. We want to take the yellow and the yellow on that, and we're going to take okay, the white is going to be for later. We want to make one more copy, and this is going to be 175, 20, and 20. Give it a nice red, and we're going to put it on the letters, so devil and Q. Perfect. Okay, so next we want to go and we want to grab a cylinder. Where's the cylinder? Okay, and we want to set the orientation to plus X, sorry, plus Z, so where the spacing is, and increase the radius a lot. So let's go into our front view so we can see this better. increase it pretty much like that. Okay, looking good. We can set this to probably 560. Okay, and we're going to set the segments to say something around 60. And then we want to go to the caps and we want to choose on fillet. So let me go back to our perspective view, and oops, we want to get away from the camera and we want to move this cylinder will remain there. We want to take this null and we want to drag in all the elements to somewhere there. Okay, and we want to take the cylinder and we want to increase the radius pretty much. Okay, so to say something around 50, or actually let's say 80 itself, and we want the segments to be somewhere around 20. Give it some, oh okay, we want to increase these segments. Actually let's decrease these segments to say something around 4. Okay, that looks pretty nice. Okay, and then let's go into the camera and see what we have. So I think I'm gonna go increase the radius of this cylinder, so I'm just gonna increase the radius pretty much. Or actually let's go and reduce down the caps to say something like 50, and we're gonna increase the segments. We can actually set the segments to 5, and cylinder we can reduce down the radius of that. Okay, something like that. Then we want to copy this null, press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and we want to go into the top view and we want to move this right back. Actually we want to go rotate it, oops, to 180 degrees, and then we want to move this up like that. Okay, and so then we want to take these two, we want to press Alt G again, group them into a null, and in the top view we want to make sure that it is in the center. So let's zero out this Z. Actually we want to take the cylinder as well inside the null, and then we want to zero that out, and then we want to go to frame 0. We want to go to the null, we want to click on the stopwatch of P rotation, and then we want to go and set this to -360, and we want to make a keyframe. So now, oh, oops, wrong axis. So let me just Control Z that. Looks like we want the heading. Yes, we want to hit the heading. So 0 over here, go to the last frame and set this to 360. Okay, and then let's render and see we have this nice spinning going around. Here on the back that looks pretty ugly, so we can go into our front view. Actually let's go into our top view, and we can select this and we can move it up to the side so as to properly align them. And we want to go to make it loop, we want to go to the null, we want to go right click, choose show F curves, and we want to select these F curves and we want to make them linear. And once we make them linear, we want to go and choose an HDR. So I'm going to be using Grayscale as HDR as Studio Pack. So Studio Pack, choose a HDR, and I'm going to be choosing the 3 softbox one. So I'm just going to drag that in. Now let's just make a quick render, and we see probably nothing because that doesn't look good at all. Now let's see that. Okay, if you want to take this white material and put it on the cylinder. Okay, now we want to give it some lighting. So I'm going to go to the content browser. I'm going to choose Grayscale Gorillas Like It Pro, and we want to choose a, let's see, we want to go to the store, and probably that actually go here to the soon, and you want to choose a linear daylight. Okay, and let's get out of the camera, and we want to make sure that this light is falling on this side, so here. Okay, so how are we going to do that? We're going to go to the daylight. Let's see if this thing rotates. Nope, it does not rotate. So we have to go to the controls, and let's see where's the rotation. Okay, yeah, so we rotate that. So let's get into our camera and see, and let's make a quick render. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Or I'm going to delete this. Okay, let's use the one that's already preset. So in the studios, I'm going to be using one of the studios from these three. So we have this basic falling studio, etc. stuff, you know, which was made, and I'm going to be using this one. So I'm going to the objects, and I'm going to choose this daylight. I'm going to press Ctrl C, go back here and press Ctrl V. Okay, and then let's get away from the camera, and we just want to give it a little bit of rotation, something like that, and let's make press Ctrl R, and yeah, that is what we get. We can actually reduce down the shadowing. So the shadow density, we can set that to 50. Press Ctrl R. Yeah, and the shadow light density, you can set that down to 5. Okay, what else we can do? The shadow by resolution, we can set that to 50 as well. Okay, moreover, let's reduce the brightness down to say something like 30%. Okay, I think looks like we need the more. Okay, that's the sky brightness. So here the shadow type, we want to set that to soft, and the color is okay. We want to set down the brightness. Let's set that down to say probably 100. Yeah, so this looks much better. This looks fantastically more better. Okay, so let's go somewhere to another place, and press Ctrl R. Okay, yeah, so this is pretty much how we create the texture. We can actually go here, and HDR stereo rig has 3. So let me use a different HDR. So let me go back to the HDR Studio pack. I'm gonna go to the studios, and let's choose the Studio 2. Okay, and here we want to just Ctrl R. Okay, that looks pretty bad, so let's not use that. Let's use Ring Studio, HDRI, Ring Studio, plus Ctrl R. Yeah, that looks good. We have some nice reflections on the edges. Let's get away from the camera and see if it is looking good. Here on the yellow, we can actually go and increase the reflection to say 50 for each of these. Actually make it more reflecty. Yeah, actually go and choose the ambient occlusion, go to anti-aliasing, set that to best. Let's choose global illumination and try that too. So let's see, we're going to set this to low, and the irradiance cache, we're going to set that to low. Close this up, Ctrl R. So as you can see here, this is a very better render because of global illumination. Let's go into the sides over here and make a render over here and see what that looks like. Okay, so it's making the passes and good. So we can see the reflections on the edges and it looks fantastic. I really love it. Okay, so we have some nice reflections over here, and I think that's pretty much it for the tutorial, guys. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, guys. Hope you learned some new stuff. I know it was a pretty simple and a quick tutorial for beginners to Cinema 4D, and thank you very much for watching again. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, really encouraging. I say that in every video, and my subscribers and views are increasing, so thank you very much again, and see you in a future tutorial. Till then, bye bye.